Hello everyone, welcome back. This is episode 2 of the Ghetto Ranger Review. I am Ghetto 1, and today I will be reviewing Season 1, Episode 2, High Five. This episode was written by Steve Kramer and directed by Adrian Carr. We open with the kids at the juice bar, Jason trying to climb a rope. Trini walks up only to tell Jason to be careful, distracting him, causing him to slip, and then just walks away. Kim tells us,
"Looks like somebody's got a case of height fright."
Really? That rope only goes, what, a story or two? Billy shows up and decides I'm going to stand right under a rope that my friends are looking at. Jason comes down and lands in the electric chair position. This is a decent comedy spot with the two of them swinging. Jason must be really strong to keep them both up. For as high as they were swinging, they land safely enough. Bulk and Skull see them fall and start talking smack. The two attempt to tease Jason, but he's having none of it. I love how Skull tries to get nose to nose with Jason, and Jason is totally unflinching. Bulk takes Skull's place and informs Jason,
"Let me show you how it's done."
Zach and Kim basically say to the guys that they're too dumb to work a rope. Bulk tries once and slides off the rope. Before the second attempt, he spits in one hand and Skull quickly spits in the other. This is a simple gag, but I think it's gold. The second time Bulk tries, not only does he fall, but he pulls part of the ceiling down with him. Kim states,
"Oh yeah, Bulk, you really showed it this time, didn't you?"
Yeah.
adding insult to injury. We cut to Rita in her fortress, and she states she's going to trap the Power Rangers in a time warp, just like she did to Zordon, and then the world will be hers. That's a decent plan. If it worked on Zordon, then it's got a chance on these kids. Back at the juice bar, Billy informs the group that he's invented cell phones. Not only does he invent cell phone watches, he also somehow connects them to the command center's teleportation ability. The kids accidentally teleport to the command center, landing on Alpha. Zordon gives Billy praise for inventing something actually pretty advanced, and says Alpha can fix the teleportation aspect of them. Alpha takes the communicator and starts zapping it with some science. For some reason he says,
Uh-oh.
and starts running around. Why? Did he zap himself? How? What? We see Rita has finished her time device and decides on a monster to send down. Finster shows us that he has created a monster called Bones. We get to see decent shots of the monster workshop and the monster creator working. He mentions he put the machine on high. After the monster is created, Finster says,
Perhaps I should have set the machine on low.
Rita likes Bones and sends her plan into action. Her plan is a remote control rocket that can actually travel through space. After landing on Earth, it will drive through the streets of Angel Grove, stop on a small hill, and open up the time warp above the city. The Rangers hear the alarm at the command center and apparently don't know what an alarm is or means. Zordon then sends the Rangers to fight some putties, while he analyzes the time device. When the Rangers meet the putties, Jason decides that they should at least try to fight on their own before morphing. Jason tells Trini and Billy to spread out. Trini and Billy then separate from each other as well. Trini actually hides under a rock, which I think is pretty smart for her. But then she decides from hiding quietly, she's going to start yelling loudly to Billy, who we can now see up on some rocks. We see a quick cut of the other three fighting, and for some reason we see Zach botch a move. Trini goes to help Billy, who has now come close to a cliff edge. Trini gets over her fear of heights pretty quickly, climbing up the rock face. Billy tries morphing here, but is so bumbling he actually drops his morpher. She gets to Billy and calls the putty a dirtbag. She coaxes the putty into charging at the two of them, and he runs himself off the cliff when they dodge. Well, it's more like he runs towards them, and after they move, he just decides to jump off. Billy then tells her it was,
"That was truly more fortuitous, Trini."
They help their friends get out of a group hug and decide that they need to form a human chain. They then combine to perform the greatest martial arts move ever. It reminds me of the Terry Funk Benny Hill spot. Oh my god, Terry, I'm so sorry for comparing you to this. How about when the Sandman did it? Is that better? This somehow works and the putties run away comically. Rita then sends Bones to Earth. When Zordon informs the Rangers about Rita's monster, he tells them his name and his powers. How would Zordon know all this? Finster literally just created him. The Rangers morph and face him, and he sends them into another dimension right away. Looks like the set of some old Star Trek. The Rangers then fight Bones in his own style of putties. Squat and Babu are there to set off the time device with a comedy-style bomb. The bomb for some reason has a very long fuse. The Rangers see this and immediately know that fuses need to be stopped. Bones creates a fissure in the dimension. Jason grabs Bones and the team blast the monster, destroying him. But his bones start collecting back together. Billy for some reason decides,
We need to destroy his head!
How would he know this? Trini throws the head down the fissure created earlier, destroying the monster completely. Rita sends down a monster giant-sized and also her fortress. Okay, this is where my mind gets blown. The monster grabs Jason through a wall somehow and pulls him out of the dimension. The team gets blown out of the dimension when the bomb explodes. And now we're all in some quarry? What just happened? Also, isn't that what Rita wanted? Them getting caught in the dimension? Is it because the hole was punched in the dimension that everything got blown out of it for some reason? Why would you punch a hole in the dimension if you had them all trapped? Wait, is this dimension the thing that Rita created earlier? Or did the monster make this? I'm so confused. Jason calls the Dinozord, and once the theme hit, it all becomes much better. We get a Dinozord versus monster fight. They open with a lockup. The monster gets in a couple attacks, but the Dinozord uses tail whip. He also gets in a jumping dropkick. Jason does the shoot into the ground move, and the unnamed monster is destroyed. Rita gives out, and we're back to the teens at the juice bar, where they hear Ernie talk about how we saw the Power Rangers defeat some zombie guy. Okay, I know this is a small thing, but a zombie and a skeleton are different enough that not many people would confuse them. Billy explains their communicators are working again, and Kim says,
This is so 90s!
Zach sneaks in and somehow wearing a mask, he scares Trini up a rope. And credits. In the opening scene, they did 3 things with this rope. 1. Put over Trini's fear of heights. 2. Show Jason's strength. And 3. Give enough humor to keep the mood light and fun. I think Bones looked awesome, and having your own themed putty squad is pretty dope. How he got killed was lame though, and very confusing. This monster would also appear in the SNES game. Rita came off as a threat in the beginning. Good plan, interesting monster, but it was defeated easily, and the second monster was generic and destroyed quickly as well. So the first monster was made on high settings, and it was cool. Do you think they made the second monster on low settings? That's why he's got beaten by a dinosaur alone? Also, even though this monster got beaten, wouldn't you just keep making them on the setting? The best you can make it? Will this ever be brought up again? Last thing, I know this is a kid's show but whatever, but think about it. Smartwatches are actually a thing in 2014. So this went from a fantasy idea to an actual product in what, 25 years? Again, kind of like Star Trek. This was the episode Zordon first coined the phrase, "It's morphing time." Well, this is all I can muster up for this episode. Come check me out next time when we get dirty with Season 1, Episode 3, Teamwork.